In Monster Hunter World Iceborne, there's a total of 14 weapons, which at the beginning of the game you are given the ultimate choice of selecting your starting weapon. So today we'll be checking out 5 strongest weapons in Monster Hunter World Iceborne, which if you're a new player you should be checking out, or if you are a continuing player and you want to switch up weapons, have some fun, you can also check out these weapons. So I've ranked them from 1 to 5 and I'll be starting at the bottom. That's number 5. And at number 5 we have the switch axe. So the switch axe features a sword and an axe mode. Whilst you are in axe mode, you have more mobility, and in sword mode you have less mobility. In sword mode, this weapon actually feels like the great sword with more fluid combos. So in sword mode you can attack with your triangle and circle combos to build up meter for your arm state. So building up meter is done by attacking in sword mode with your triangle and circle combos. Once your meter is fully charged, that is where this weapon goes crazy, guys. You can do your zero sum discharges or keep attacking in sword mode to boost your damage, to boost elemental damage and also raw damage. So with the zero sum discharge, you can do it while standing, or you can do it close to a monster body part, and once you are close to the monster body part, the player will automatically latch on to that part and deal more damage to it. And also in axe mode, you have your circle combos that deals devastating damage to the monster, which is also really good. And it also has evasion combos. For the switch axe, having skills like artillery, power prolonger, and focus will be very good for the weapon to use it very efficiently and get those damage numbers rolling. Okay guys, so moving on to number 4. Number 4 we have the charge blade. The charge blade features a sword and shield mode and an axe mode. In sword and shield mode you have more mobility, and whilst in axe mode you have less mobility. In sword and shield mode you'll be able to charge up your vials, which you can use to charge up your shield. That will boost your defense. And also you can use point guard to charge up your vials. Point guard also deals damage when you time it perfectly. That is when guarding at the point where the monster attack you. So guarding right at the point where the monster attacks you is where you do your point guard. So pressing triangle and R2 at the same time while the monster is about to attack you is how you do your point guard. And also guys, when your vials are charged, you can release a devastating elemental discharge attack which does lots of damage, or you can also use your charged vials to awaken the pizza cutter, that is savage axe, to also deliver a lot of devastating attacks. And also in savage axe mode you can also release you can also do your elemental discharges in savage mode. That is also very OP. The charge blade does lots of damage, and you always get monster topples when you are using this weapon because of the elemental damages it does. And for this weapon, having skills like power prolonger, capacity boost, and also artillery will also take this weapon to a very peak level, and that is the charge blade for you. Very destructive power, a bit complicated for new users, but once you use them on maybe 5 or 6 hands, or maybe trying it for hours, you'll be able to grasp the whole mechanism of the charge blade, and you are really going to like it. For me, I don't really play much of charge blade, but once I tried it, it's been part of my main weapons and I use it once in a while. It's a very good weapon. And also guys, we are moving on to number 3, and at number 3 we have the hammer. With the hammer, I don't have much to say. All I can say is charge, spin, and bonk all day, guys. The hammer is a really fat weapon, and I really enjoy playing the hammer a lot. So with the hammer, anytime you do a charged attack and you press the claw attack, you can follow up with the claw attack that you latch on to the monster, and you can do a tenderizing move right there immediately and get the parts you latched on tenderized. That is one of the most OP skills, and I really love that about the hammer, that you don't have to always maybe sheath your weapon and look for a way to tenderize and all that. You can do that after an initial attack. That is a charged attack. And also the big bang attack is one of my favorite attacks. It does a lot of damage. That also causes stun and all that. And the hammer is a stun weapon, so you don't really need to equip any stun skills if you don't want to. The hammer is still a stun weapon without any stun skill. That is, if you hit the monster on the head more times, you could get a lot of topples in the hand. That would help your teammates to get more damage in, or even if you are playing in solos and you hit a monster on the head that much, you can get a lot of topples. That will be an opening for you to deal more damage and make your hands shorter. The hammer is a very OP weapon, and it deals a lot of damage. You should consider trying out. I know the hammer isn't that popular with hunters, but you should at least try checking it out once or something like that. It's really fun, and I really enjoy playing the hammer. And always when you are charging, the hammer has good mobility even with your weapon drawn out. So when you are charging and you're about to get interrupted, you can dodge attacks and continue charging. That is why I always like to pair up evade extender when I'm using the hammer. It really helps a lot with the iframing. So when you iframe attacks, you can continue your charge and deal damage to the monster, because after every big attack, the monster is kind of opened to the next attack that you can go in with. So the hammer is a really OP weapon for that. So for the hammer, skills like evade extender, maybe item prolonger, and you can use dash juice to manage your stamina when you are charging, because charging drains a bit of stamina. And also you can use focus to charge faster. And yeah, the hammer is truly worth a try. So at number 2, we have the great sword. The great sword is known as one of the most iconic weapons in the game, and it also have great defensive properties. The great sword is a very slow weapon, but it features very powerful attacks. So with the great sword, timing and precision is very key. So with the great sword, you can press R2 to block off attacks, or you can use the tackles. So whilst charging, you can press circle to tackle. So whilst charging and maybe a monster try to attack you, you can tackle the monster and then attack right after your tackles. And also tackles inflict stun. So if you tackle a monster on the head, you might be able to topple it. That will give you an opening to use your TCS, and TCS is the true charge slash. That is the most damaging attack from the great sword. The TCS deals a lot of damage, so you have to prioritize using the TCS a lot of times. So with the TCS, if you want to use it faster, you can use Slinker Burst. That will get you to the TCS faster. So after your first attack, you can use Slinker Burst and your next attack will be a TCS. And also, if you tackle twice, or maybe if you tackle a very huge attack from the monster, you'll be able to go into your TCS quickly. That would build up more damage. The great sword revolves on raw damage more, so building an elemental great sword is kind of hard, but when you have to fight a Latrion, I think you have to get an elemental build. So yeah, that from that place you have to know what to do to get your elemental great sword build. So great sword is really good with raw damage. So yeah, great sword is a very high weapon to use, and it's kind of not new gamer friendly. If you are new to the game, you have to learn monster patterns before you can use the great sword, because the great sword requires time, and anytime you you initiate an attack from the great sword, it takes a while to recover. So in case you don't know the monster's patterns and you just attack anyhow, you will be very, very disappointed with the great sword if you do that. So if you want to use the great sword, you have to learn monster patterns, and also be very patient and know your timings before you go in for big attacks. So for this weapon, having evade extender and focus is very, very good, because whilst you are charging, you want to charge very fast, and whilst you are evading, you want to evade really fast, because the great sword actually features a hit, sheath and run attack kind of strategy. So yeah, that is the great sword for you. So moving on to number 1, we have the long sword. Yes, guys, the longsword is at number 1 as the most OP weapon in the game, guys. The longsword features fast and fluid combos, but it cannot be used to guard. But to make up for that, the longsword has the foresight slash. So for a longsword, you have to level up your spirit gauge to get to red in order to release your devastating combos like Spirit Handbreaker or EI Spirit Slash. So to level up your spirit gauge, you have to level up through either your spirit combos or the foresight slash. But the one that you have to really learn is how to level up with the foresight slash. So the foresight slash is used to evade monster attacks. When a monster is about to attack you and you do a foresight slash, you evade the attack. And when you connect the foresight slash and you follow up with a spirit combo, you will level up your spirit gauge. So for the spirit gauge levels, when you level up for the first time, you get white. For the second time, you get yellow, and the third time, you get red. When you get to red, that is where the magic happens with this weapon. So at red, you can do the Spirit Helmbreaker, which does a lot of damage, just like the TCS from a great sword. And apart from that too, you have this tool which is very, very useful and very, very OP. That is the EI Spirit Slash. The EI Spirit Slash is a very, very powerful move. So with the EI Spirit Slash, you'll be able to slash through monster attacks with hyper armor. So maybe you're about to get attacked by a monster, and the monster is coming up with a very big attack that can maybe cut you or get you pinned or something. When you are in your special shield mode, you can release this attack. So by the time that monster attack you, it's just like using the point card on a charge blade. Before the attack touches you, you initiate your EI Spirit Slash and you slash through the attack. So with that, you get hyper armor. Sometimes you can sustain a bit of damage, and sometimes too you don't get damaged at all. And if you are having a health regen augment with your longsword, you probably get your health back after doing the EI Spirit Slash through big attacks. And it does a lot of damage. It can break parts, it can cause monster topples, and it's very, very, very efficient, guys. And also the spirit, the EI Slash is also good. The EI Slash, anytime you connect it, it actually fills up your spirit gauge automatically, so you don't need to build it up before using your spirit combos. You can go straight and use your spirit combos. And also for the spirit combos, if you want to make it shorter, you can mix it up with Fate Slash and continue your spirit combos, and it will be shorter for you to level up your spirit gauge. The longsword is really, really OP once you learn how to time your foresight slashes and your EI Spirit Slash. It makes the longsword very OP in every hand, and it dominates almost every hand. I use the longsword a lot, but it's not my main weapon, but I enjoy using it. It's a very good weapon, and I recommend you trying it out. And it's also very, very beginner friendly. It's very, very beginner friendly. It's not that hard to learn how to use the longsword. So if you're a beginner, or maybe you're a continuing player, you've never tried out the longsword, you've seen people using it, but you feel like it's not going to be something that's for you, I just want you to try it one time and you know what I'm talking about. It is very, very cool. It's a very cool weapon, and you have to try it out, guys. Okay, so with that said, that is number 1, and this is my ranking for the top 5 strongest weapons in Monster Hunter World Iceborne. Let me know what you think in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video so far, leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.